I guess we're just gonna I don't know why I'm so nervous. We're like on camera, but we do this like all of the time. Like all of the time.
All the time.
There's
literally
no
constantly.
I miss being in a room with you. That just makes it better. I don't know why.
I think so too. I agree.
This like made it. All of a sudden got really uncomfortable with what we were doing, and I was like, I've done this. I can do this. I edit videos. I edit podcasts. This is what I do. I do this.
You doobie doobie do.
I doobie doobie doing this. Okay, I'm just gonna start the intro now. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome
To
It Bears Repeating.
And It Does.
A podcast where culture queers talk queer culture. I'm Tom.
I'm Tiffany.
I had to get it right because we're going on a new platform. And I was like, I can't mess it up the first time we post something on YouTube as like a lengthy podcast version.
I know. Well, when we become famous and people go back and watch this video, they're going to be like, wow.
Wow, they are culture queers talking queer culture. Tiffany, what is the culture we shall be partaking in today?
I'm so glad you asked.
Oh yeah. Out of my Justin Bieber cup.
I'm drinking wine.
Don't question my taste when I have this and then also this happening, like, around me, and then also the Pat McGrath. Like, I need it to be known that I have taste.
You do have taste. We
Except
know.
for the Justin Bieber cup.
We know. Aside from that.
Yeah.
So, this week would have been the Met Gala for 2020, as it stands, as the whole world knows. What happened in this year, sweetie? So I had the idea that we could review looks from the 90s Met Gala. Met Galas of the past, simply to get like a taste of something. Just do a little something. So, because we're at a loss currently.
Yeah, we have done Met Gala episodes in the past. Have we done one every year? I think we did one both years.
I think we have.
This will be our third year. So audio listeners, if you're listening on a podcast app, what Tiffany and I have done is also recorded video. So you can go to the youtube.com and watch this, and the pictures will show up as we're talking about them. So it'll be like a one multimedia experience if you want to do that. Or if you just want to listen on the podcast, you can do that too if you just want to hear us chat, because I know that like people like that. People want to see things. But also if you're on YouTube, please be very well aware that this is the first time Tiffany are trying this. So it's going to be a roof stoof.
I truly don't know what I'm doing.
Neither do I. So we are in a Zoom call.
Honey child, we had a time.
We were going to try to do it in Discord. And then Tiffany's computer just said no. Even though literally yesterday we used Discord.
This is a different laptop too.
Oh, okay.
But it was just... We had a plethora of errors. We ran over doing our makeup separately.
Yeah.
We have false lashes on. Like,
who are we?
Who are we?
We never look like this when we podcast.
I put on a coat over my top because my top's too wrinkly. You know what I mean?
I put the same sweater I had on for the look I did literally yesterday. So I don't know if I'm really doing well, but it's cute.
I mean, I would say you're doing well. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank
Your mug looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. She's in Pat McGrath. I'm not even in Pat McGrath. What's on your eyes, Tiffany?
Well, I felt like bringing out the big guns because, as you may or may not know, I have been depressed. And I figured my first face back out of whatever I was just in, I might as well treat myself to some opulence. So I used the Pat McGrath Mothership One palette. I used the foundation Skin Fetiche. And I used one of the lip glosses as well. Lavendering.
Lavendering, darling.
Yes.
I used a plethora of things. It was like, it was like Pringles. I started going and I was just like, this is what my eyes look like. And then this is a Kryolan like powder blush. And was it pigmented? Way more pigmented than I thought. And I used a brush that doesn't pick up a lot of pigment on purpose. And
still,
but like
you are bronzy, but it's cute though. It's not too much. I tried to apply my bronzer like the way
LQ
does.
did? Oh my god.
Yes. I was just like, is this it? Am I doing it? Like, very, like, minimal strokes, like, much higher up than I normally would have done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, am I here now? Am I LQ yet?
So LQ is a makeup artist that we work with, and we did like a education call, and basically every time she applied something to somebody's face, to her client's face, I was like, huh, is that how you're supposed to use bronzer?
Every single time.
Every single thing. And then Tiffany was like, yo, I learned most of my makeup from Tom. And I was like, clearly I have been doing it really wrong for a minute.
I mean, there really is. It's just like, you know, Reese's cups. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. There's no rules. It's just, I saw her do some things.
Yeah. Listen, I'm like all about like cream products. It's like my new jam. I love them. Except for eyeshadow. That won't happen because I am oily.
Yeah. It do be breaking up though.
Yeah. So
sitting in those creases.
But this is Colored Rain eyeshadow. It is the only eyeshadow that doesn't. Like, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know what the woman who created that brand did, but she like did it right. And I think Sephora needs to carry it. I think Target carries it, which is weird, but
interesting.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna share the screen, and we realized that the document didn't format like perfectly, but this is our first time doing this, and like we also decided that we didn't care because Tiffany and I had days. Well, Tiffany had a day, and then
genuinely had a day.
And then I popped in and I was like, why isn't this working for you? It's working for me.
Right. But it's
I wasn't getting sassy.
We got there.
I was just like, I don't know what's happening because it's working on my end. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't do anything. You're fine.
I shall share the screen.
Do you like these glasses on me?
Hold on. Let me do what I need to do and then I will be able to.
Cute.
Oh, yeah. Those are cute. Are they new?
I've had them, but I haven't been wearing them.
Why haven't you been wearing them?
I don't know.
Chic c'est la vie. C'est bon, c'est bon.
Honestly.
Okay, so basically it's going to be a page of what era this is from, and then you get to guess what it looks like while I scroll. So Tiffany curated this list.
I tried so hard.
I'm actually very excited because, like, I didn't know the Met Gala existed until, like, 2015.
So here's a fun thing. It's existed since the 70s.
Oh, well.
I found that its fashion has, you know, ebbed and flowed as most things do. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't widely discussed. And there's not, at one point, there wasn't always an exhibit to accompany the party and vice versa. And not all of the years of the Met Gala were public events per se, because technically it's a fundraiser at its core, and then the party happens like around the fundraising, but now it's sort of become this cultural event alongside of the thing that's also a huge fundraiser. I think the 90s are a really weird time for the Met Gala, so I think this will be interesting.
I'm also very curious about like who might pop up. Like who that celebrity?
It was a wild ride. So you can find several listicles regarding past Met Galas. I found a couple really interesting ones that sort of started in the 70s and then moved forward through to the 2000s. Mm-hmm. And obviously, like, the further back you get, there's people featured where I'm just like, literally, who the fuck are you? I tried to stick with people that we know.
Okay.
You know?
That's good.
For the most part.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you're fine. There's obviously going to be people that we probably haven't thought about in 12,000 years.
Okay, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see those people. Okay, so first up we have Naomi Campbell, 1909. Okay, you can do this part if you want to because you curated it.
I curated
You curated it.
So what's interesting and what I wanted to say about this is I have to remind myself not to fidget too much because people can see me technically. Or people will likely see me.
Well, also anytime you touch your desk,
the whole thing moves.
Well, yeah, like anytime Just you're a fidgety person. Yep. It's who you are.
I am. I'm a fidgety.
And every time I adjust, my chair goes clank, clank, clank. I have like the loudest chair in the world. So
sorry, everyone. So this Naomi Campbell photo. Anytime you Google Met Gala 90s, this is the photo that pops up.
Okay.
This is an extremely iconic photo of Naomi Campbell. It's an iconic Met Gala look. It was on basically every website that I pulled, and I did pull several to look for things to include. This photo was on those lists. Every single one.
Every single list.
It was wild. Wild. And I feel like I'm building up the look. But truly, it was just super interesting to me. But this was like...
This was it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, era. You have to think it's the 90s. And like, we're kind of like coming off of grunge and then not knowing what we're going into fashion-wise.
I would agree with that. So, there was like a certain opulence to the looks that I did see from the 80s, which I thought was interesting. And then obviously, if anything, the 90s are more tame in a way. So we'll see.
Well, like, I feel like the 90s, we like weren't about extravagance. Like, that wasn't what it was.
No, it was a weird, almost, there was sort of this, I want to call it a film. Like a film over some fashion moments we had in the 90s, because it was almost harkening back to a more muted, bored moment of like 50s fashion, or like 60s I'm going to work looks, like just like muted tones and patterns and like very fitted but not very exciting looking things.
So before we scroll to the photo, I do have a question. Is this whole Theatre de la Mode fashion doll survival of haute couture the theme? Like all of that?
So this photo is from that Met Gala with this theme.
What is the theme? All of that?
Whatever that means, yes.
The whole, from Theatre de la Mode to haute couture, that's all the theme.
Oh yeah, that's a whole banner there.
So, like, in my head, like, Valley of the Dolls, is that what this theme is supposed to be? Like, I don't know what that means. Okay, let's just scroll to the photo and start talking about it.
So, again, I think the reason why this is so iconic is because it ticks all the boxes of the early 90s. So, it's, like, a super structured piece. She's rocking a fierce handbag. For some reason, everybody had a handbag around this time. But I think a big thing that people were so excited about was because it's so interesting to look at print-wise.
Yes.
And then it's meeting those, like, proportion ideals that I feel like the 90s were known for. So it's like a short dress and, like, a bobbed haircut.
The hair is
a choice.
Well, I'm also, like, I was born in the year 1990, so I clearly don't, like, I, like, know what, like, the boy next door should be wearing in 1990, but I don't know, like, what haute couture looks like in 1990. So, but the hair is, like...
technically it.
Well, the hair is, like, very 90s. Also, like, Naomi Campbell, like, she's beautiful. I'm not taking that away from her, but I think she, like, doesn't look like herself in this photo. But I'm also thinking of, like, 2000 to 2020 Naomi Campbell, which is, like, a different beast. That the boob, the breast cups, the shape of them is odd.
It's a choice that they made.
Do you have designer names?
In that.
You don't have who designed what?
Not for this one, no.
Okay. Because I'm curious who, like, I do kind of like the skirt. Like, the skirt, like, from her arm down.
We really liked mini dresses in the 90s.
I'm all about a mini dress. I think we should bring them back, personally. The more, like, the better. Get your body to the people. But, like, I don't know. There's
something so business casual about the 90s. Like, that's what I was trying to say earlier. But it's, like, business casual of, like, the 60s or or something. Like, it's very boring. Like, it's almost like a boring-ish quality.
Because even, like, the makeup, she's very natural.
So muted. Yeah.
I am curious as to what is in her hand. Not the bag, but, like, the white
Don't
thing.
know. You can find different versions of this photo. Yeah.
It is weird that it's, like, not on the steps. There's, like, no giant red carpet. Like, there's not
a lot of pomp and circumstance in most of these photos.
And I want to know...
because it just wasn't a thing yet.
So did they do it on the stairs in the 80s? Because I know you looked at some other...
I don't think that they did.
So now I'm curious when that started. Like, when we all start... Like, the way we think of it today. Like, I wonder when that, like, flip over happened.
I want to say probably around the earliest. I bet it would have been 2010s-ish. Because if you think about it...
I would bet maybe, like, right after The Devil Wears Prada happened.
I could see that. And just when everybody started interacting with the internet in the way that they interact with it now. Yeah. Which took time. Like, we all had the internet for a while.
Right.
But maybe we weren't, like, Googling for photos of events like this.
It's, like, pre-BuzzFeed. Like, whenever BuzzFeed happened would have been, like, when this...
Right.
Yeah. That, because, like... We often forget, like, before 2010, we weren't using the internet like we are today.
No, not at all. It
like,
wasn't
I think
like this.
Twitter is, like, the only even social media that I think, like, made the jump successfully for whatever reason. Like, we all have Facebook, but do we like it? Are we interacting with it the way we did in 2007? No. Okay.
No.
So, 1995... Elizabeth Hurley and Hugh Grant is the theme just haute couture? Like, I don't understand.
So some years there were two themes, and one didn't carry through to the exhibit for the actual Met Gala.
Okay.
So I tried sticking with actually finding the theme for the photo that I was pulling, but you're gonna find that oftentimes the theme is irrelevant to what people are wearing because again, it wasn't like a thing as it is now.
Weird tie-in. This packaging for this Pat McGrath palette is from the Met Gala 2 years ago.
See? Like, it's like a whole cultural thing now.
Okay. Oh.
So this is haute couture.
So, first of all, we've talked about this before, but if you're new here, men's fashion is normally trash. Unless they make it interesting. So, like, I'm not surprised at the way he looks.
No.
No, what she is wearing.
First of all, she's a beautiful woman.
Can't argue.
First of all, I mean, I think it's safe to say none of this is necessarily what I would wear to a Met Gala. If I were going to a Met Gala.
No. This dress, and I know we talked about this dress in the past, it's like the I'm on a date with the president's daughter, the velvet pink mini dress. This is like, this is giving me that vibe. Because it's like, I don't know what fabric that is, but it doesn't look luxe.
No, scoochy. It's a little,
yes.
It's a longer gown, and she has like that fur, which I'm sure that it's real fur, because again, it's 95.
Yeah.
But this does feels a little scoochy. And she has a bag.
I don't mind, like, the bag being a thing that we're carrying, because I think, like, you can make a statement with the bag. Like, if that's going to be your piece.
You can.
You know? Like,
you can.
That's fine. Yeah. I think the jacket is the most exciting part about what's happening here.
I would agree with that.
But whatever makeup technology this person's makeup art, like, her makeup artist was using.
Well, you're noticing a lot of flashback, I think, because she's very washed out, and Naomi was too. Yes.
Like, if you look at this, for the people at home, if you look at her neck and then the rest of her face, like, but also, even, it's like, almost you don't even have to set that makeup, because it doesn't look like she's wearing any.
Right. And I think it's interesting, too, how people take photos during this period.
Oh, yeah. That's, like they're not, it's not, like, level to the ground. We're in a tent. The lighting is atrocious. Like, there's not a designated space for this photo to have been taken. I don't know. This is weird. This is really wild.
It's so wild.
Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. So Christian Dior. You have like a whole thing here.
So this is Princess Diana's look from 1996, and it was a Christian Dior theme that year as well. So I like clipped this. So it's Galliano for Dior, but I clipped this like little blurb. So this is also a highly referenced photo of iconic Met Gala looks, but furthermore, Princess Diana has become, since her passing, kind of an icon fashion-wise as well, because she went on a journey from when she first started dating Prince Charles, then got married, and she like very much came into her own and had a discernible sense of style. And she made interesting choices and was often more daring, especially as someone who was supposed to be royalty at the time. So she's really serving it to you in this gown. That's essentially what the blurb is saying. She's the epitome. She has basically minimal makeup on, but was gorgeous.
Okay. So I'm hoping that I know this look, but I'm almost like really nervous.
It's fine if you don't. This is a slip dress, obviously.
Yes.
But Diana was always one to wear, not always, but she often wore like a longer gown and a choker moment.
Okay.
Always had short hair. But she was always showing like a little bit more skin than you would expect somebody in her position to be showing.
Right.
But Diana was often living her best life regardless of what she was supposed to be doing. And at this point, she was also divorced. So truly could not tell Diana a damn thing.
I have to say.
Purple like the Beanie Baby.
Get out of here.
I hate like the lace strappy thing. I hate it. It doesn't look even. Something's really unsettling about it. I don't like it. Also, the choker, like either the lace should have been white and then also the choker was white. Do you like, there's something weird about the white choker that is like very unsettling to me. I don't like it. I don't like
That's
this.
Okay. You don't have to.
I know, but I feel like I have to I guess I don't have to justify it.
No, you don't have to justify it.
It's 1996, and also 10 years from now, people are going to look at this video and say, like, what the fuck was he doing? So.
Right.
And I will be, too. I get it. I do like her nude lip is a little darker than, like, a lot of others. And I think that's very 90s. Like,
her haircut is
iconic.
insanely 90s. Yeah. It's just, it's wild. I went on a whole fucking spiral. Because this photo was another one that continued to pop up as I was, pulling looks for this. So then I started Googling, like, all sorts of things about Diana. Because there's also another iconic look where she's wearing a choker very similar to this one. And I got confused about which was which. But basically, the day that it came out that Prince Charles had cheated on her, she went out to what is like, I don't know if this is an event that still happens, but it's like the Serpentine party in Britain. I don't know, like a garden party almost type of situation. And she stepped out in this fucking dress and she just looked like $12 million. Like kind of like a shorter, like black, like dress with like a choker as well. And she looked so hot. But it's like so killer just because Prince Charles was like a piece of shit. And she stepped out on them, just like insigning. I love Princess Diana.
I like know very little about the lore of her. I find her fascinating. I think I find her fascinating because like I know she has such a place in like gay culture specifically.
She does.
So I feel like I need like that's one of those like someone recommend like a good biography and I will read it. But like
I feel like my family was weirdly obsessed with her. I mean, but here's the thing. Not even weirdly, America on a whole was like kind of obsessed with Princess Diana. We've always had a weird relationship with the royals just because I think we like to not fantasize about it, but romanticize the whole idea of it because it's literally kings and queens and etc. And I was like trying to put this together too because I remember as a child automatically like regarding Princess Diana as someone of great importance that was very lovable, but I didn't really understand why. It was just like the way the adults around me were treating her. But I really feel, and this is what I found out yesterday with my brief Googling, that she truly was beloved by like everybody. And part of it was because she was a very seemingly transparent, genuine person who was very open about her own mental health issues, for one. And then furthermore, a big part of why she's been sort of taken into queer culture and like adopted in the way that she is because she was a person who was pushing for the normalization of HIV positive individuals and trying to bring them back in to larger culture as opposed to being ostracized. So one of like the larger moments in her lifetime in the context of queer culture is she was spending time with somebody who was HIV positive and she shook their hand and she didn't have any like gloves on or anything. And people started to realize, using that moment, we're starting to realize that like you could not catch HIV through just touch. Mm-hmm. Because truly at that point in time, people were so ignorant and terrible that they like would not even want to be in the same room, let alone be touching somebody who is HIV positive. But she was also just very much that kind of person. She was a very warm person. I guess she was supposed to wear gloves most of the time, especially in public settings, and she never did because she felt like she couldn't make an honest connection with somebody if she had gloves on. And she also wouldn't wear hats out in public either, which is like another royal thing, because she felt like she couldn't hug kids very easily with like a big fucking hat on. She just seems like a truly lovely person.
Did you comment on the outfit? I don't.
No, because I love it. I like don't really have much to say about it, but I also probably just love it because I, have like a weird love for her. So doesn't matter what she does. I just think she's fierce. Okay, so 97 was Gianni Versace. So Selma Hayek. This is a wild ass look. So it says, at the time, the gala was known for producing fashionable evening wear looks rather than over-the-top spectacles. So this was, like, daring, I would say, for the time.
Okay, you said that in air quotes, so I cannot wait to see it. This is good. This looks good. She looks good.
Sickening.
First of all, she looks the same.
Like, she does look the same.
She looks exactly.
She looks the same.
Now I'm like, do you think she's had work done? But like, I feel like she hasn't.
I don't know. I think sometimes people are just born blessed.
Her body looks amazing.
And I love her pose. Like, she's truly...
She knows she's
posing.
Yeah. She knows she's it. She was like, one day, this thing that we're doing right here will be a moment, and I will own it. Like, I will own it. You could wear that dress today, and I would be like, still live it. Like, it looks so good.
Sickening. Yeah.
So, does she have like a thing draped, or is that just part of the dress?
I don't know. It looks almost like a wrap because it doesn't appear to come up over her shoulders. It just looks like a piece of fabric that she's like holding.
Yeah. It is weird, the weird like tent and people behind the photographer. Like, this is very so weird.
It's just it's crazy. All of these are very fly by night, like spontaneous almost. Like, I don't know. There just was, it almost seemed like there was like no media training then. Like, it's not like people stopped and acknowledged the media and then kept moving,
Yeah. This was on film. Like, these photos were on film.
There was also that.
I can only imagine that, like, these photos were, like, in the New York Times Society and Culture section. Like, where else are they putting them? I don't know. It's wild. This is so wild. She looks so good, though. I like it. I want her to walk the Met Gala next year in this exact dress. And I'd be like, yes.
She could do it. In a heartbeat. Better shoes, though.
Well, I mean, the shoes are of the time.
Yes, they are.
The strappy. Your foot, how do people's feet stay at those? Like, I don't understand.
Not easily.
Legend, icon, Selma Hayek.
Agreed.
rock style. Oh, I cannot.
You are
wait.
gonna fucking scream. This was also another photo that kept coming up in my searches. This is something. So, not quite the evening wear of the early 90s, not quite the extravagance of the current Met Gala, but Liv Tyler and Stella McCartney are definitely adhering to the theme here in rock royalty emblazoned on ripped t-shirts.
Ooh.
Please look at her bag, though. Stella McCartney's bag. On top of everything else going on.
We don't have a designer for this.
No.
Okay, so there's a lot happening. Stella's pants.
So low.
First of all, they're a hip hugger that then divots down on the side. But I would wear them. I like the pants. Like the pants, I'm here for it. Then you go up. It's like, I realize that I'm not a person with breasts that people feel like should be in a bra. Like, I know that, like, bras are, like, a touchy subject, like, because I don't fully understand it. And I don't think people should have to wear a bra. But, like, it's alarming where the breasts are to me in this photo.
It's the cut of the shirt as well that I think is not doing anybody favors.
And do you think they just bedazzled this, like, that day? And they're like, this is
know.
good?
Maybe. And what's interesting is, like, the one arm, like, free arm is coming back almost. Like, this sort of, like...
I mean, there's a lot of cold shoulder moments happening. I haven't seen just, like, a one strap situation happening. I don't know. Also, I feel like kids are learning how to, like, roller skate, not even blade, roller skate again. Like, that's, like, a trend that's happening. So, like, what do I know? I don't know. I would never
Same.
know.
I'm outside of culture in every way, shape, and form. But I mean, it's just...
It's a lot.
I guess they felt that it was really a statement literally wearing the words rock royalty on their chest because they are, in fact, prodigy of rock stars.
Yeah.
So Stella McCartney being Paul McCartney's daughter and Liv Tyler being Steven Tyler's daughter. So, but this is garbage.
Look at this haircut, though. This haircut.
Oh, baby, I had that haircut.
You had the layer up here and then the rest
Bitch,
of the layer.
of course I did. And, you know, I look like a triangle head because my hair's thick.
I heard someone. No, stay with me here, everyone. I was listening to a podcast, but it definitely wasn't a podcast about fashion because I don't know that I, like, listen to anything that's about fashion in my podcast realm. But they were having a discussion about fashion specifically, and someone said that we are, like, post-fashion in a way that, like, whatever you kind of want is going to exist somewhere. You're going to be able to find it. And, like, people, like, if there's a, like, the trends come and go so fast that, like, there's never, like, a consistent, like, you're only going to find, like, hip huggers if that's, like, a thing that comes back, or you're only going to find bell bottoms. Like, you know, like, it's never going to be what it used to be.
Well, now we have the internet.
Right.
Also, and people are used to having options. Whereas I think, you know, companies, people that produce goods, trends, whatever, you were sort of at the mercy of whatever was popular, and that was the thing that was made.
Right.
But now that the internet exists, people are willing to pay a little bit more if they get to have what they want. Mm-hmm. And we've kind of forced those people to, like, give us all the options, or else we're going to, like, create the option somewhere else.
Well, that seems to be the thing. If you find the gap, it seems like people are now filling their own gap.
Right. So it's a good and I think it's a good and bad thing. I think it's interesting to consider that, like, trends are over, kind of. Mm-hmm. Or there's more control over what becomes trendy.
Well, I think that, like, it all becomes, like, I think we're all much more aware of, like, our body types and that there are so many. And it's just, like, you can't just, like, be like, now we all wear boot-cut jeans.
Yeah.
Because that's, like,
what it ends up being.
A boot-cut jean is not going to look good on me because I'd be, like, wide and then wide again. I'm like, well, I don't want that. You know, like, And, like, just, like, it's not... we realize that there are body types, and then if you're not going to cater to them, they're going to go somewhere else. So you have to, like, kind of play the field now.
That's kind of a beautiful thing, too.
I think it's mostly a beautiful thing, because I don't want to be forced into a trend that I don't think is going to look good on me.
Right.
Okay. Brandy! Oh, my God. And Naomi Campbell. Haute couture. The general haute couture.
Couture.
Okay. I like this.
I do too.
I like this a lot. First of all, Brandy's makeup artist knew what was up. Her face looks right.
Brandy also is a person that hasn't really changed. I feel like she looks just as good. Naomi Campbell, same.
5 years. She looks completely different than she did in that first photo.
Yeah. This is, like, the way I remember Naomi Campbell
me too.
looking now. Like, if I think, like, what does Naomi Campbell look like? This is the Naomi I see.
Yeah, but I feel like she still doesn't have a very... Like, Brandy's makeup looks much better than Naomi's does. Which is weird.
I wonder if this was the moment where supermodels were supposed to look like they weren't wearing makeup at all times. Wasn't that a thing?
It doesn't even look like Brandy, like, has a lot of makeup on. It still looks pretty natural. I'm just saying, like, even though she caught most of the flash, she doesn't really look ashy. And, like, Naomi is not even catching most of the flash from this photo. And you can tell that, like, in, like, the T-zone area that she's, like, there's flashback there.
Right, yeah.
It's just, like, it's, to me... I don't know. I just feel like a model would have better access to, like, better makeup artists, and considering they're, like, working with people all of the time.
You would think.
And I would assume that Brandy had, like, one person that she, like, had with her all the time, you know? But I would wear both of these things.
I would too. Brandy's giving me a very Clueless moment on the left here.
I would drop the tights if I was going to do this in 2020, but I'd still rock this.
I love it. And I mean, of course, I'm going to love a whole gown that is nothing but glitter and shimmer. So
I also love that, like, Brandy's in braids. And, like, there's just... That's not gonna ever... We're never gonna look at, like, that didn't age well because they're braids and everyone's... Like, people still do that to today.
Timeless. They're gorgeous.
Yes, they look amazing. Oh, I love this one. This one's, like, the I'm most excited about so far. I felt, like, glitter, glam. It's not, like, what you expect from Met Gala, but they both look really good.
I agree.
Completely. I also do, like, they don't look like they're in the tent and there's, like... There are people behind them, but there's no one, like, taking photos from this direction, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's almost in the party or something.
Yes. Okay. Wow. What a moment that was. Also, Brandy and Naomi Campbell. If there's, like, anything more 1995, come find me. Like, I don't...
Truly.
John Galliano, 1997, Versace.
Versace.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I included this because it's wild.
Well, yeah, this is, like, interesting, even though I don't know that it's great. It's, like, definitely interesting to look at compared to a lot of the stuff that we've looked at so far.
There was this weird moment in the 90s, and I mean, this is, like, late 90s, but a weird moment in the 90s where we just, like, really liked the idea of, like, gangsters, like, prohibition gangsters. So, like, the very structural jacket. Like, men's fashion in this time tended to be oversized always. Mm-hmm. But, like, a jaunty hat, moment. It's like he took all of those things and just, like, supersized them.
To me, this reads almost like pimp.
It's going somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like all he's missing is, like, a cane, and then it's just, like, super problematic. Like, I just...
Like, don't know what you're going for in this moment.
This is going to be my only compliment for this outfit. I think the scarf or ascot is lovely. It's a beautiful yellow. It's, like, a beautiful fabric.
That jacket looks like it was made out of bed sheets.
Or, like, wallpaper.
It's a time.
I don't know that I hate the hat either, but I don't know. The yellow is the prettiest thing happening, and that's, like, all I can really look at, because the rest of it is just a lot to take on. He's also wearing a boutonniere. Is that what they're called? Is that what that's called?
I believe it is called a boutonniere.
Are you going to prom? What is that? I don't know. Oh my god, that should be a Met Gala theme. Prom. Like, good luck.
Honestly.
Okay, I can't look at this anymore. Okay, I don't know.
Debbie Mazur.
Thank you. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Versace. You may know her when you see her face.
I don't know her.
That's okay.
Was she in something that I should have seen? Because that's common.
She's like a character actor in several things, but I always associate her with, and everyone can read me the filth, I don't fucking care, Beethoven 2. She's the villain in Beethoven 2.
She has, this is not a read, but she does have a face for a villain. Like, you can see it in her face. Like, 90s villain, she looks like it.
But this is like, again, the thing that I was like kind of trying to describe poorly, but it's like business cash with a flair. Like, her hair is very interesting. Weird shapes going on. She's got gloves on with that like 3/4 length sleeve. Didn't we love a 3/4 length sleeve though? Like, do we remember that? They made shirts on purpose to stop right here on the arm. Like, I have my jacket like pulled up.
Yeah.
But like you would find a t-shirt that just stopped.
Like
right
a
there.
basketball tee.
It was the wildest thing.
Yeah, okay. I like the sleeve. Like, not so much like the length, but I think it's an interesting texture. I like how long the cuff is. Like, I would like that sleeve on something else. Because I'm not very like, a suit has to do something very, very special for me to be impressed by it. Just in general, on men, on women. Like, first of all, I'm always going to like it more on a woman. Because, like, men are boring. And, like, they're like, that's what we wear. And a woman, like, made the decision to wear a power suit.
Right.
You know? The length of that skirt is, like...
It's bad.
It's really bad. But the hair is almost like Lizzie McGuire.
And I love the hair. I'll allow the hair. But I like the way, like, I love the way the jacket is tailored and, like, hits her at the waist. And I almost like how it you know, kind of swoops down into the skirt. It's just a shame that the skirt is the length that it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the blazer's almost like a peplum.
Like, I almost see something happening here.
It would have been better if she was in a pant. I
agree.
Yeah, I think she would have. The glove, I almost didn't catch that she was wearing a glove. I just thought she didn't have a hand on her left hand. I was like, is that just hanging? Like, I was like, does she not have an arm? I was so confused. But her makeup looks pretty good comparatively to like some of the stuff we've been seeing.
Another handbag. Need a handbag.
A woman do carry an evening bag at, you know? Madonna, that's a person. That's like probably well, I don't know. I don't want to say anyone's more relevant than someone else, but like definitely like one of the more relevant people we've seen. Mm-hmm. Is she pregnant?
No. So this was like during that Madonna phase, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what that means.
So, Ray of Light Madonna. Are you familiar?
Yeah. I guess I would have thought Ray of Light was in the like thousands.
No, it was the late 90s.
Okay.
Late 90s turning. I could have carried into 2000, but then like 2 years later was music era.
Okay. Maybe I thought they were all one. Like, I think maybe I put music and Ray of Light just like blending them together.
Both of those happened in our lifetime.
Okay.
We were alive.
Also, like, radio. Like, I remember Ray of Light being on the radio. And I remember music being on the radio. So, I mean, I know it's still kind of common today, but, like, specifically, like, late, like, anything before, I don't know, 2016, it was, like, here are the 5 songs you hear for the next 10 years until we decide to put something else on.
Right. Wait, how much younger than me are you, again?
Like, 2, 3 years? I'm 29. Even though I said I was 30 last night, I forgot how old I was.
So I'm gonna be 32.
I'll be 31. 30 this year.
Right. So we're like basically 2 years apart. Yeah. So Ray of Light probably came out when I was like 9. If I had to like guess.
Okay.
Oh, it's probably 9.
That makes sense. But like also you have to realize like Bitch was still playing on the radio in 2002. Even though it came out in, like,
Very true.
1993. So, like, it's, like, so hard to, like, gauge when music actually happened for me. Like, specifically 90s.
I was just, like, obsessed with music as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I also, like, have weird memories attached to most of the things. You know? So Madonna choosing to do this is, like, very much of the time. It's a moment.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's definitely, like, one of the more, like the man's outfit that we just looked at a couple looks ago. It's definitely, like, something to look at. And,
It's
like,
a look.
Yeah. It's, I just wish the hair. Like, I don't...
That's just... I don't know why that was the thing.
Because
that was the thing she did.
The outfit's so crazy. You might as well put... What's her face is, like, the
Debbie Mazur's hair
on this.
Yeah.
That would make more sense. Yeah, it's...
Totally.
I don't know. She looks old in this photo. And I know she's not as old as she is now.
No, she was probably in her 40s in this photo.
Okay.
I feel like.
That can't be right. She has to be in
No.
her-
I think so. Hold on. 97?
Yeah.
Okay. So I went on I've been on a weird sort of Madonna
Well,
thing
we
lately.
talked about this. I'm... Pause on talking.
She was
first.
39.
I'm gonna
So I
check.
was right.
That's not 40. I said in her 30s.
Oh, well, whatever. I said 40, right? 40s. She was 39. So we were both right.
Right. Gwyneth Paltrow. Rock style or cubism. There were two exhibits there.
Yes, I couldn't figure out which one this would have fallen under, so I included both. But I'm guessing it was probably the rock.
It's so weird to not see her as a blonde. Like
That's why I chose this, because
that-
I thought it was wild.
She looks the same too. What the fuck?
Well,
What's it like to
Gwyneth
have money?
submerged herself into whatever goop
Well, she shoves crystals up her
Yes.
vagina.
she does.
Yeah, and steams
I also
it.
feel like she's one of those women that has, like, never tasted sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's likely. All, like, snarky things you can say about Gwyneth Paltrow aside, I think she's a fairly decent actress. But, like, I don't know. Her outside...
She's fine. And I'm not reading her to filth either. Like, not eating sugar is your choice. Like,
Well,
if it gets you to look like this, you know.
Goop is
You're like-
wild. Is
Goop
wild.
is, like, bad, and
Yeah.
no one should interact with that culture. But I'm not shaming her for her dietary choices.
No. But, like, goop is, like, a thing that
Goop is
she
bad.
created. So,
Categorically bad.
yeah, so...
And teaches people bad things.
Other than her not being blonde, there's, like, nothing exciting about this look at all.
No, it's insane. There's no shape or form to this.
No, I mean, they're trying something with, like, the boobie opening and, the peekaboo.
It's not doing it. I love that her hair is just poker
But this
straight.
is, like, a 2020 peasant dress you'd find at Anthropologie for $70. Like, this is not haute couture by any means. Like,
No.
today.
No. I completely agree.
That woman on, like, the left-hand side screaming.
Yeah.
Amber Valletta, 1999.
So
Says
it's the same
cubism
thing.
that-
It's either rock or
Okay.
cubism or whatever.
She looked good. This is good.
I thought so too. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not sure who that is
I don't know
off
who
the
that
top of my
is.
head,
No.
but I was pleasantly surprised to find something that I thought was something you could see out in the world
Like,
today.
I think, like, if you lose the long blazer, which I think is, like, the part that's, like, a little bit questionable, like, the 90s part of the outfit, you can buy that on Fashion Nova today. That you could find that.
bodysuit part? Yeah.
Absolutely.
This was also 25 years ago, right?
21.
Wait. Oh, yeah, okay, because we're in 99.
I even don't think, like, her hair, even though it's, like, a 90s haircut, it's, like, not the worst 90s haircut. Like, this,
No, and truly there are some 90s hair trends that we're seeing Like the piecey, like just chunk of hair is coming back in the front of the face, for example.
Are we gonna do like 2001 chunky Kelly Clarkson highlights again soon?
I've seen some things.
Okay. That's upsetting.
People are doing things.
Yeah, she looks good.
I'm
into this. Jennifer Love Hewitt! Okay.
I settled that it was just rock style at this point. I gave up.
I can't even imagine Jennifer Love Hewitt being like, I'd like to try a cubism look.
Right.
Yeah, I just can't see it. Wow.
Also a moment. We loved Fun Fur at this moment in time. She's showing her belly button.
This is almost like a pop star should wear this on stage in the 90s. This doesn't feel like a red carpet look. But
and it's very, I think it's a very telling look for what's to come in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because we're teetering, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just on the horizon.
I think this is like fun. Like, I don't have like another word for it, but I think it's like fun. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. The weird, like, almost like laid bang.
Could you scream? Because it is rough stuff. Rough stuff. I don't care for the skirt, like, at all, but
it almost would have been better as a pant. Like, if it was a furry pant.
I think I probably would have liked it better in that case.
The top is like basic.
It's literally nothing. It's just a scoochy top,
and
a midi top.
Like Jennifer Love Hewitt got like a weird. Like, I feel bad for her. Like, she like really tried really hard to stay relevant, and like she's always like around, but like she hasn't like nailed it. Like,
she's one of those people that we just kind of decided we don't care for as a culture.
That's true. She like had that show where she like saw and talked to dead people. Wasn't that like a thing that she did? Mm-hmm. I don't. Yeah, but she like had a whole franchise. Like I know. What
Do you remember when she tried to become a pop star?
Yes, I do. I was going to bring that up too. She had the body for it at the time, which is like seemed to be the most important part. Not a read on her. I
just wouldn't accept. Would not let her live.
Jennifer Lopez with Diddy, 1999.
We had to do it to him.
We had to.
Because this was a moment.
They were on IG Live together during quarantine.
Oh!
I mean, like,
were they?
Well, like, yeah, he was live, Diddy was live, and then, like, J-Lo came into the chat. That was the whole thing.
I'm sure you have the time right now.
I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, because it was, like, a whole moment. Like, everyone who was, like, our age was like, this is crazy! Like, I can't believe
That's
it.
actually insane.
Yeah.
Josh, did you know that recently Diddy went live on Instagram and J-Lo popped in? Can you believe?
All right, then.
I'm still rooting for those two.
We're in a weird timeline.
We are in a weird timeline.
Oh, yeah.
Truly.
They've all lined up, and we're all, like,
She's
we're
just so
experiencing
real.
all of them at once.
She's just so real. Okay.
Did he just say she's just so real?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I literally can't.
He's the worst and the best of all time.
Him and I are fighting right now. I haven't forgotten yesterday.
Diddy looks kind of good, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. But you can see his undergarment.
Can you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can.
I'm like looking at this like as if it's RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm like, I can see the undergarment. It's crap.
Yeah, I can see your boxers, sweetie.
I mean, it's happened on many occasions on that show.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like a fun men's garment. Like, it's definitely not like just the standard what we see a lot on the red carpets. Like, that's fun. I kind of wish J-Lo's jacket was unbuttoned, just so I could see a little bit more. Because, like, I don't hate what's happening. It's like millennial pink, which is like kind of still a thing. Like,
Oh, it's a moment. We do be loving millennial pink.
Champion
I
pink. Really want to know. I'll have to check to see if she was working with Scott Barnes at this time.
You know who looks the same?
J-Lo.
Whew. Good for her.
I do want... I'm very curious if Scott Barnes did this makeup. Because it's not very good. Because he invented the J-Lo glow. Like, that was, like, them together, was Scott Barnes and her. But I feel like that was, like, mid-2000s is, like, when the J-Lo glow
But
was,
also,
like,
to be fair, no one's makeup is, like...
No, but, like,
good.
Makeup artists did exist at the time, and I'm just, like, playing the game. I'm just, like, I'm curious if he was the person who was responsible for this look. That's all. Lil' Kim. Is this her titty out? No, wait. That's not the Met
No,
Gala.
that was the VMAs. But
it's interesting that Lil' Kim got invited to the Met Gala.
of course she did. Little Kim was having a moment.
Oh, yes. Yes. This is what I want to see.
This is everything.
Yeah.
I don't care. I love it. I love her hair. I love the jacket. I love the boots.
She's another unfortunate, like, time, like, forgot her kind of thing. Like, I know she's still around.
Yes, and she's still, I feel that she's still a respected music artist. You know what I mean? Because people still try to start shit with her all the time because she's kind of rap royalty forever and always.
I mean, absolutely. For sure. Actually, there's a Spotify exclusive podcast where Lizzo interviewed female rappers. It was like there was like 10 or so episodes of it, and she interviewed Lil' Kim, and it was like very interesting, and I would recommend it to anybody.
I would love to listen to that.
And it was interesting because she like was talking about like the feuds that they had in the 90s. I say air quotes because that's basically how she dismissed it. She was like, we were all together and in it together all of the time, and we really like did it to like spark publicity. Like that was kind of like the vibe of it all. And I was like, that's just so interesting because like we think these like feuds are so like real. And they might be more real today than they were then, but she was like, we were all just trying to make it work, and we all really respected each other. And I just think that's wow. But I think this is so, like, when you think over the top 90s, like, Lil' Kim is responsible for a lot of it. Mm-hmm. I love the hair.
It's so good.
Her body is sickening.
Girl. She's adorable. I love her.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, all these people from the 90s. Like, I was just, because she was on Lady Marmalade. Mm-hmm. But, like, Maya still makes music. And, like, I think she put an album, like, last year or the last year before, like, 2008, 2019. I'm not sure. 2018, 2019. And I listened to it, and it was, like, good. I don't remember anything from it. Like, I didn't listen to it again after that. But, like, it was, like, I thought I was going to cringe through it, and it was, like, actually really good.
I believe it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So the 70s and 80s I thought were much better than just the 90s.
Okay.
But
so is that what we're going to be looking at?
No, I was just commenting because I kept having to scroll through. A lot of the listicles really cited the same looks over and over and over and over again because I don't think there was like a ton of like iconic looks. But then I found this one, which is Amon in 97 in a tiara and a gold lame coat.
I mean, that's what I want.
I
From
know.
like a 90s Met Gala.
And that was like my response. That was my response. Like I had a big...
What was her
big
theme? Did it have
feeling
a
to it.
theme? I did. No.
I don't remember what 97 was. I should know off the top of my head at this point, but I do not.
The eyebrows. They're barely there.
Cannot see them.
Yeah. I love this. I want this robe to like lounge around my house in.
Yes. And the fact that she is wearing a tiara
Yes.
truly just does it for me.
Lux. Luxury.
Yes,
Beauty.
darling.
Grace.
She's glamour.
Yes. That she bare. I don't know what. Look at her foot.
I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, I don't. Is it falling out?
Mid-walk.
Yeah, like I don't know what's happening.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Charlize Theron. Now this should be a moment.
Can you believe?
I literally can't even speak.
Talk about eyebrows.
Guys, if you're listening to the audio, I'm gonna need you to go to the YouTube and go to the timestamp just to like, because like it literally just took my breath away because I didn't know what to say. And like when I say it took my breath away, I was like, didn't know what I was looking at for a second. And
this is like 90s prom.
yes. Can you Google how old she was in 1990? This is 1999. The 90s, like, wasn't kind to everybody's face.
She was 24.
Because she does look young. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I
She
don't,
looks like a baby.
yeah, I don't think she looks bad by any means. Say she was clearly a gorgeous human. But, like, she looks even younger than 24. I would have guessed, like, 19. Like, because I have no gauge on how old anyone is at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
She's
now
so
I'm, like,
cute.
I'm also curious. I'm not sure about like her like repertoire, her IMDb, like what she like was in around this time.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't. And also like the
Truly.
dress, like minus like the spaghetti straps, which I like. I don't know that that's a thing that I ever like really want to see again. Like I don't know that spaghetti straps are like a thing that we need.
Nobody's titties wants to see that either.
I mean, it's not. I don't hate the dress. But, like, I was just really shocked by her face. And that was, like, what really threw me. Because I guess I was just, like... Because, you know, we looked at, like, Naomi Campbell. And we're like, okay, like, that looks like Naomi Campbell. And, like, Brandy, that looks like Brandy. And then we, like, got to Charlize. So I was like, that doesn't
And it's
really
just
look like her.
who even is this? So this was The Rock, again, because it was 99.
Okay. So do you think this is cubism?
I don't know what it is, but it's either thing.
Okay. Donatella Versace. Whew. That's weird.
So that's the dress.
It
that
is
J-Lo,
the dress.
It is the dress that J-Lo ends up wearing ultimately and, like, was, like, the first Google image.
Fascinating.
Isn't that interesting?
When did J-Lo wear the dress? And it was to the Grammys, right? Is that what she wore it to?
Yeah, I think so. And everybody was, like, so taken aback.
Also, weirdly enough, like a year ago or so, didn't J-Lo wear it again?
Mm-hmm.
Pat McGrath did her makeup for that. It was like a whole thing. I just remember like being on Pat's Instagram. And it
So,
was like,
2000.
oh, literally the next year.
Mm-hmm. And she did wear it to the Grammys.
That's so weird because like fashion is like you have fall, summer, pre-summer, pre-fall, like pre-winter, you know? It's just weird that the dress survived seasons because like after the season no one cares. I say that in air quotes because I really, you know what I mean?
It was the 42nd Grammys. February. So it would have been early 2000, and this was probably mid 1999. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And like, not to be rude to this woman, but like, no one probably would have cared that she wore this.
Right. But
You know what I mean?
It is interesting that it like went out twice. You know, like
It is.
yeah.
And I feel like when, well, no, because J-Lo's had long sleeves. And hers is sleeveless.
Is it the
But
same?
I wonder if it goes down as far in the back, because that was the other thing. It was like the deep V in the front and the back.
It almost looks like a halter here. So you wonder if
Right.
it's the same fabric. And that's like it. Because it's the same pattern on JLo's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Weird. That's so
I just thought it was
wild.
super interesting.
That's the last one, correct?
I think so.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
I thought so.
It was a good
I thought it was
time.
weird.
It was weird. I would almost, I mean, like, if we do Met Gala again, if we just did, like, another decade or, like, reviewed, like, the 2010s, because, like, that would be, like, more relevant to, like, what we know, but we've also done 2 years of that, so I don't know.
I would do the 2000s.
Yeah, that'd
because
be
I think
fun.
that would be a real treat. But I would even do something like, I would want to skip the 80s, I think, because I believe I have a vague idea what that's going to look like. I think doing the 70s would be really interesting.
Yeah.
The opulence.
The opulence.
I think everything would be opulent. And that's when Cher wore Bob Mackie gowns
Yeah.
to the gala.
Well, I didn't realize, so like when Aja, for those of you who don't know, if you're new here and you made it through this video on YouTube, we used to diligently cover RuPaul's Drag Race. So like Aja's All Stars 3 look that sent her home was like really referenced by a Met Gala look by Cher, like that Cher wore. And I didn't realize that look was a Met Gala look, but it is in fact a Met Gala look.
Oh, well, how about that?
How about that?
Well, how about that?
How about that?
Wow.
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 Oh, wow.
Well, this was a real pleasure
It
and a
was
real
so much
treat.
fun. Now, I'm glad that we like made it work and made it happen. It was like a whole to-do.
But we did it.
Now that I'm
And
like
that's
in
what
front of
counts.
this is like a complete side note. I do need to start filming my makeup videos like in front of this because I think it looks really good as a backdrop.
It's very cute.
It's definitely better than what you can't see right now. The backdrop. Well, if you liked this and you found us on the YouTube, find us on a podcast app because we have literal years of stuff available for your ear holes.
We do be there.
We are there. Thank you so much for watching or listening or whatever, however you decided to partake in this media.
We do appreciate
We
you.
appreciate you. And
And we'll
don't,
make the looks available on Google.
yeah, we'll put it in the description box of the podcast. So if you just want to like scroll, you can do that too. But like the video was fun. I thought this was fun.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Me too.
Because it made me put some face on, which is always a good time.
I put a face on to do like a 4:30 meeting yesterday on Zoom, so I really not think this should be very all right. So don't forget, you deserve this and love you too.
You deserve this. Love you too. Bye.
Bye.